You're not addicted to porn. You're not chasing pleasure. You're searching for something you lost. That raw drive you once had? That inner fire that made you feel alive, focused, unstoppable? It didn't disappear. It got hijacked. By screens. By swipes. By quick, hollow highs that leave you emptier every time. But what if I told you that the very energy you've been wasting is the same force that can make you rich, magnetic, and unstoppable? This isn't about NoFap. This is about transmutation, the ancient art of turning sexual desire into personal power, creativity, and wealth. Because your sexual energy isn't just for the bedroom. It's for building your empire. You feel tired all the time. Unmotivated. You can't focus. You start things but never finish. And deep down, you know you're capable of more, so much more. But something's off. Something's been siphoning your strength. Quietly. Consistently. Every time you reach for that screen. Every time you click that video. Every time you trade your vitality for 5 seconds of pleasure. You lose something. Not just dopamine. You lose direction. You lose the spark that makes you dangerous. The ambition that makes you wake up with fire in your gut. The charisma that once made people feel your presence before you spoke a word. And it's not just porn. It's the culture you live in, a constant seduction of distraction. Swipe. Like. Watch. Release. Forget. Repeat. It's modern slavery. But the chains aren't on your wrists. They're in your nervous system. Because no one told you the truth. Sexual energy is not just for pleasure, it's your power source. You weren't meant to waste it. You were meant to wield it. And the moment you realize this, is the moment everything begins to change. You've been told sex is just a physical act. Just biology. Just reproduction. But think about it. What's the one force that creates life, inspires war, drives billion-dollar industries, and shapes nearly every decision a man makes? It's desire. Rooted in sexual energy. Carl Jung called it libido, but not just in the Freudian sense. He believed libido was the total psychic energy of life. Sexuality was just one expression of it. This energy is creative. It births children, but also ideas. It fuels lust, but also love, leadership, and legacy. When you're sexually energized, you're alive. You speak with certainty. You move with purpose. You attract without trying. It's not mystical. It's primal. But here's the tragedy. Most people only know one outlet for this energy: release. They never learn to contain it, to cultivate it, to transmute it. And so they waste their kingdom, one moment of weakness at a time. You think you're in control. But you're not. Because every time you seek pleasure, you reinforce a loop. A loop they designed. To keep you tamed. To keep you obedient. To keep you distracted from your potential. Modern culture tells you, don't hold back. Follow your urges. Chase dopamine. Sleep around. It's empowerment. But what they don't tell you is this. Every orgasm without purpose makes you weaker. Every scroll for stimulation dulls your mind. Every hookup that ends in emptiness disconnects you further from your true self. You're not being liberated. You're being drained. Because they know the truth that you were never taught. A man in control of his sexual energy is dangerous. Why? Because he becomes unpredictable, focused, charismatic. He doesn't need validation. He radiates power. And no one can manipulate a man who no longer needs the approval of his lower self. That is why you've been lied to. Why hookup culture is glorified. Why lust is always one click away. Because if you were truly in touch with your energy, you wouldn't be working a job you hate. You wouldn't be silent in the face of disrespect. You wouldn't be shrinking from your dreams. You'd be on fire. You'd be dangerous. You'd be awake. Sexual energy isn't just about sex. It's about fuel. Fuel for your ambition. Fuel for your art. Fuel for your magnetism, wealth, and influence. Why do you think so many ancient traditions, from Taoism to Tantra, taught sexual restraint? Why do you think warriors, monks, and kings practiced celibacy before battle or leadership? Because sexual energy, when stored and transmuted, becomes spiritual fire. Your lust isn't the enemy. It's the raw material of greatness. Think of it like gasoline. Waste it, and you get a spark. Contain it, and you get an engine. Every time you hold it in, you're not repressing, you're redirecting. Your eyes become clearer. Your voice becomes firmer. Your body stands taller. And your mind begins to see clearly, past the fog of desire, into the realm of vision. This is why your creative flow returns. Why your confidence grows. Why you suddenly feel like you're walking with a secret no one else knows. Because you are. You've found the vault. And it was always inside you. This is the part where most people quit. Because it's not flashy. It's not sexy. It's not dopamine. It's discipline. The secret isn't in doing more. It's in doing less of what weakens you. You begin by observing the urge, not running from it, not obeying it, but watching it like a flame. The same desire that once made you crawl toward the screen now becomes the signal. It's time to create. You start training your nervous system to handle tension. Because this is where the transformation begins. Not when you avoid the fire, but when you walk through it without flinching. You stop touching yourself. You stop chasing low-level pleasure. You stop leaking your energy to people who haven't earned it. And instead you redirect. Every time the urge hits, you alchemize it. Into a workout. Into a business plan. Into a cold shower. Into a journal entry. Into a moment of solitude that sharpens your edge. This isn't suppression. This is sovereignty. You're not becoming less of a man. You're becoming kingly, the kind of man who holds his hunger like a sword, not a leash. You'll feel stronger. Not just physically, but spiritually. Because for the first time, your energy is yours again. You'll walk differently. Speak differently. Women will notice it. People will feel it. Not because you're trying, but because you're charged. Your presence becomes rare. And rarity commands respect. This is the way of the few. The focused. The elite. The dangerous. This is the discipline of kings. Now the current starts to change. The same urge that once pulled you into the shadows now pushes you toward your destiny. Because here's the truth no one told you. Sexual energy isn't dirty. It's divine. It's not something you're supposed to resist forever. It's something you're supposed to transform. This is where you stop being a consumer of pleasure and become a creator of power. You begin to feel it. That electric pulse in your chest. That intensity behind your eyes. That drive to build, express, inspire. You start creating value. Your business ideas feel alive. Your voice carries weight. Your body language becomes magnetic. Because you've stopped giving away your essence. And now it's building pressure inside you, like a creative storm waiting to break open. This is transmutation. It's the reason the most powerful artists, inventors, and leaders in history often had periods of sexual abstinence or redirection. Not because they were afraid of sex, but because they understood its price. They weren't chasing the next high. They were becoming the source of a higher frequency. You notice money starts to follow you. Not because you're chasing it, but because you've become a generator of value, vision, and vitality. You attract clients. You build audiences. You forge alliances. You're no longer needy. You're needed. And here's the irony. The less you chase pleasure, the more pleasure finds you, in deeper relationships, in fulfilling work, in silent confidence. You've turned lust into light, not by running from it, but by owning it. You thought abstaining would isolate you, that cutting off distractions would leave you empty. But instead, something else happens. You become full, not just of ideas and purpose, but of real connection. Because when you stop seeking validation through sex, you begin to see it for what it truly is, an exchange of energy, not just a physical act. Relationships transform, and so do you. No longer are you driven by the primal urge to satisfy yourself or fill a void. You're now attracted to the soul, the essence of another person. You see intimacy as a deepening, not a transaction. For your partner, it's like they're meeting you for the first time, because you've become someone entirely new. Your attention is fully present, not fragmented. Your emotional connection is real, not based on superficial chemistry. You no longer need to impress. You don't need to prove your worth with gifts or empty gestures. Your presence is enough. When you meet someone, they don't just feel the attraction to your body. They're drawn to the energy you radiate, the confidence, the magnetism, the self-mastery. But here's the secret. Sexual energy transmutation doesn't eliminate intimacy. It elevates it. When you do engage with your partner, it's no longer a quick release. It's a union of souls, an exchange that is sacred, intentional, passionate. You realize that intimacy is about much more than physical pleasure. It's about connection, alignment, building together. It becomes a creative act, a manifestation of shared energy, love, and intention. In this space, sex doesn't drain you. It revitalizes you. You've crossed over. You're not the same man who once lived at the mercy of impulse. You've faced your shadows, your urges, your addictions, your illusions. And you didn't run. You rose. You've stopped leaking your power. You've started directing it like a laser. And now, everything is different. Your thoughts are clearer. Your goals sharper. Your emotions calmer. Your presence heavier. You walk into rooms and people feel it. Not because you're louder, but because you are anchored. No more empty scrolling. No more dopamine slavery. No more chasing validation in the wrong places. You've turned your sexual energy into drive. Your lust into creation. Your hunger into vision. You are no longer a servant to your desire. You are its master. And the world reacts to this mastery. Doors open. Opportunities find you. Women respect you. Men admire you. Because you've become rare. Not by pretending. Not by performing. But by choosing power over pleasure. Purpose over release. Legacy over lust. This is the path of the transmuted man. Not celibate. Not suppressed. But sovereign. You still feel desire, of course you do. But now, it doesn't control you. It fuels you. Because now you know the truth. You don't need to escape through pleasure. You're here to create from power. And that power? It was never out there. It's been inside you all along. You are the source. If this spoke to you, you're not alone. Thousands of men are waking up. And if you're ready to go deeper into mastery, wealth, energy, and inner power, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, and become the man you were meant to be.